everyone. Hi, Keisha. Hello. Good morning. I think I am a moment early, so we will just wait for everyone to catch up at the top of the hour. But let me just go ahead and say hello. Hey, Linda, Kelly, Connie, Susan, Robin, Keisha, Diana. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am so happy that you are here. I am just a moment early because I wanted to make sure that technology was working. So, yay, 3 cheers for technology working, right? Ah, my goodness. Hello, everyone. Hi, Connie. Hi, Linda. If you're joining live, it will be 10 a.m. Pacific time, Friday, October 17th. And please say hello in the chat if you're here live. If you're watching a replay, just skip ahead. Just skip ahead because you're not going to miss a thing if you skip ahead about a minute. Hi, Diana. I know, Connie, you will not believe how easy it is to make these fun twist cards. Look at this. And I cannot tell you how intimidated I was until I saw it done in one of our team events last month. I think it was the end of September. Melanie Hawken taught us how to make these, and I was like, oh my gosh, what was I waiting for? Why was this so intimidating? So I knew the moment I saw how easy these were, I was like, oh, we are totally doing this on a live because I need to share how fun and easy these cards are. Hi, Bev. Hello, everybody. Hi. Oh my goodness, so many people are popping through. I can't even say hello to everyone, but thank you. Hello, everybody. It's going quickly through the chat. I am so glad you're here. We are just about at the top of the hour, so we're going to get started in just about 30 seconds. But thank you, everyone, so much for being here. I am so glad that you are here. Philadelphia, Arizona, Iowa, Illinois, Connecticut, New York, Minneapolis, Florida. We just have like the whole US covered, don't we? Texas, good morning, everybody. All right, let's go ahead and officially get started. So, welcome. My name is Patty Bennett, and I have celebrated 30 years of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. That happened in June of this year. And if you are looking for inspiration, I have actually over 6,600 blog posts. Maybe I need to update that on my blog, pattystamps.com. If you would like to go check out card inspiration or color combos, tips, you name it, I have covered it in the 18 years of blogging. When you're there, you can also use the links to shop, sign up for my newsletter, read more about me. There's lots of possibilities there on my blog, and I hope that you will jump over there tomorrow. So if you're watching live, today is the 17th. If you're watching on YouTube live, then tomorrow is October 18th, and these cards will all be on my blog so that if you want to pin them or save them, however you like to do that, you can do that. Today, though, if you are looking for the supplies, I already have them on today's blog post. It will be repeated tomorrow, and we have all the shopping links there. You can just click any of the photos in my blog post and find the products. I want to especially call attention to a paper trimmer and a bone folder. Those are going to be super important today. And I have chosen to use 12 by 12 two-tone cardstock. I used a few different colors today, but I'll show you why I elected to do the 12 by 12 two-tone, and you might want to use that as well. If you don't have the two-tone, the regular cardstock will work as long as it's 12 by 12. So just something to keep in mind, but you can find all of that on my blog today and repeated again tomorrow. So these cards, these are so fun. I don't know if there is an official name, but I am calling them a triangle twist square card because it's square. It's 4 inches square, which allows it to fit into the regular Stampin' Up! Medium envelope. and it has triangles. See the triangles? And it twists. So that's why I'm calling it a triangle twist square card. Now, if there's some other official name out there, that's totally fine. But that's what made sense to my brain. So that's what I am calling it. Hello, everybody. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I'm glad you like it. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. So glad that you're here. So one of the things that I wanted to do with these cards was to try to be really good about using up some of my designer paper. I don't know about you, but when I get a pack and I see a pattern that I just love, I hoard it and I don't use it. And it's the silliest thing because why would we do that? Why wouldn't we create projects and share them and mail them? Why not? We should. So I am. So this cute little pattern in the, let's see, what is this one called? Storybook Moments was my favorite pattern. So I hoarded it and I didn't use it. And now it's on the last chance list. And I was like, really? So why am I hoarding that? So use it up. So that's why I got out that pack of paper and I made a few cards with that particular pack. And it comes with just the most adorable little die cut pieces, if you want to call them ephemera or die cut images, whatever you want to call them. So I was using that to decorate on the front. I thought I put one in the inside. Oh, I did put a little butterfly right there. So I made these two just thank you and birthday, kind of all occasion. And then I thought, ooh, I want to use the Gathering Moments fall paper. I love this paper. So I made several with these patterns. We're going to make one of these today as well. And I thought this was an appropriate, a really nice sentiment for Thanksgiving time. A little kindness makes a big difference. And then thank you. So it could be like, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for helping me with the, whatever XYZ project. And I thought that was kind of nice to do this time of year. I also grabbed, what is this? Let me just check. Yeah, this is the Florals in Bloom. Okay, so that's that paper. I made several floral cards. I tried out, this was the, is it full, hang on, I'll look. That is called Wildly Flowering. This is also on the last chance list. And this particular pack has kind of the mauve, the blue, and the crumb cake. And it pairs really nicely no matter what patterns you put together. And you may remember these sunflowers. We used them a couple weeks ago, or was it last week? 2 weeks ago, I think. On the Love and Courage cards, I just cut the sunflower image out of the image that also has the encouragement words on it. Here, I'm not making sense. Please hold, let me grab it. So it's this image. We used it a couple weeks ago, and I just stamped the floral part and fussy cut it. So that is what I had used for this one. So before we start making it, I just want to call your attention to a couple of things. The first couple that I made were these two, and you can see that I have used a rectangular image for the front. But since these are square cards, my perpendicular Patty planner in the box, like don't stray too far from the norm, I like the square. So the ones I'm going to make today will feature the squares. So you can see that these three here have squares on the front, and it's just the Stylish Shapes dies. It's the two largest ones. I used the smaller one on the front, and I used, oh, well, sorry, not on that one. I used the larger one on the inside. If you don't have that, then you can just cut squares. You don't have to have the square dies, but I just like, that little stitching on there. I think it just is such a really nice little addition to the card. So I will be doing squares on the front, but if you want to do a circle, an oval, a rectangle, you can do whatever you'd like on the front. So I just want to call your attention to that. And I just want to show you something really funny. So if you were here right in the very beginning when oh, Faith likes the squares too. Yeah. um, oh, thank you, Debbie. I'm glad you like them all. Thanks, Tammy. Hi, Susan. How are you? Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm sorry I missed a whole bunch of people jumping in here. Bev, we're going to talk about that. Bev was asking if the two-tone cardstock being a different weight, does it make a difference? And it does make a little difference. So I'm going to explain that as well. I'm just going to lower this just to zoom in just a little bit on these cards. Just a little bit there. Okay. Oh, I know what I was saying. So I have seen this type of twist card before for a long time, for years. It's not brand new. It's been around. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is so complicated. How could you ever figure this out? And I just ignored those cards either on videos or on Pinterest or whatever. I'm like, I am not even going to attempt that. And do you know what's really funny about that? So I've been cleaning out, I don't know if you've heard me mention, but I've been really trying to clean out 40 years of paperwork. And I came across a binder that I had made in 1980 from my high school and college courses in the 70s. And I just like came across this particular, I don't even know what you call this. I did this is part of my work in 1978. And it's showing if you have a shape and then you have different, like a fence or something in the background and you have shadows, how do the shadows cast on those images, on those 3D images? Like, okay, to me, that kind of takes a lot of brain power. And I thought, seriously, if you could do this in the 1970s, girl, you can make this twist card. But it just cracked me up that this would intimidate me. So in September, our Love to Stamp group had an online team event, and Melanie Hawken showed us how to make these. And the minute she did it, I was like, are you kidding me? That is how easy this is. And I was like, yay, this is so easy. I was so excited. And I got out a piece of paper. I cut, I scored, I made one right along while she was demonstrating online while I was watching. And I was like, oh my heavens, this is not complicated. So that's why I'm sharing it with you today. Susan said, what class was that from? It was one of my drafting classes. It says on here graphics 12A. So beats me. I don't know what class exactly that was. I guess it was graphics class 12A. I have a whole binder of lots of different pieces of work that I've done and plans and details and sections. And I mean, like, you know, I used to do renderings for buildings. I mean, look, how fun. That's all of that is done now on computers, but these were things that I did in college. I loved perspective drawings and renderings. My dad was an architect, and so I learned a lot from him. And I love this. This is like my happy place right here. But anyway, you didn't come for a drafting lesson. My point was, why was I intimidated by this and not by all of that? So I just thought that was funny. Okay. So, yeah, it's fun when things look complicated, Faith. You are right. And you know what's fun is that I think the person that gets this is going to be like, oh, how did she do that? That's amazing. And it's going to have a really big wow impact. So I like cards like that. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with a 12 by 12 piece of the two-tone paper. So if you're familiar, Stampin' Up! Has two-tone paper in, what do we have it in, like 50 colors? Let me show you. Pretty sure it's on page 77. So let me see if my brain is remembering correctly. Let me find page 77. So page 77 in the annual catalog has all the two-tone paper packs. So you can purchase a single or a pack of a single color for $10. Or I don't, this isn't quite updated. Some of these have sold out since I printed this, but there are some assortment packs in the online store. So if you are not needing 12 sheets of one color, you can also look at the assortment packs, but that's where you'll find the two-tone. I like the two-tone for a couple of reasons. It is lighter weight, so your projects aren't quite so heavy, but also because of, the two-tone. So you get two colors to work with, and I really like that. So we are going to use this. It cuts and scores very nicely. It's a little easier to fold when you have this type of a fun fold than the regular weight, but it doesn't make enough of a difference where somebody is going to feel like this is a chintzy card. So to me, there are lots of benefits to it. So let's do this. And I want to show you just how easy this is. By the way, would someone please remind me at the end, I have a bonus project to show you. It has nothing to do with the twist cards, but it's something that I want to show you. So if you are interested, you can stick around to the end, and I would love to show you the projects that I made yesterday. Okay. All right. So this is how you would make 3 at once. If you don't need to make 3, you will just cut a 4x12 piece of cardstock or two-tone and do the scoring. So I'll show you that as well. But if you were around last week for our accordion cards, you saw how I made 3 at once. And I know a lot of you appreciated that tip. And so I thought, okay, let's do it again. Let me show you how I would make 3 of these at once, which I made about, 40, 50 of them. This is just a few more. I made a whole box of them to send out for customer thank yous. So what we're going to do is we're going to score it twice, and we're going to cut it twice, and then we'll do the diagonals. Super easy to remember. Score it 4 and at 8. Just scooching it over right on top of the 8. So score it 4 and at 8. So now it's in thirds. It's probably, is it difficult to see? Probably, but there are 2 scores, so we have thirds. We're going to flip it and cut at 4 and at 8. And the more accurate you are with these scores and cuts, the better your card will fold up and be, well, I don't want to say perfect because nothing's perfect, but you know what I mean. If these scores and cuts are off, it's going to compound, and then when you try to score the diagonals and fold it up, it's not going to fold up right. So try to be really accurate. Score at 4 and 8, flip it, cut at 4 and 8. So now you'll have 3 strips, and each strip is, here, I'll just do a little bit of fold so you can see. Each strip is scored so that it's really like 3 squares. Okay, so that's it. That's all that part. Set those aside. To do the diagonal, you'll take one piece at a time. I flip it to the right. Okay, so that, see, do you see what I mean? So I flipped towards the right. I'm going to make a pencil mark just so you can see. Well, and so I can see. Okay, so right there, that little pencil mark, I don't know if you can see it, but that's where the score line is. I am going to put that in the track, and I am going to put the point in the track of my trimmer. This is the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, by the way. I'm not sure if all trimmers have such a nice little spot for you to see what's happening, but at least with the Stampin' Up! One, you can see the point is in the track. That little spot where the score mark meets the paper is in the track. And then I am just going to score. And never come down onto your point because it can wrinkle. So you see I started over here and I scored up. And then we're just going to scooch the paper so we're not reorienting anything. And we're going to put the point in the track and we're going to put that little spot in the track. Super simple. I think, let me just look closer because I'm trying to look through the camera, which is really hard. Hang on, let me do this so I can see it. It's really hard to look through the camera to see this. It's not difficult when you're just, making cards in your craft room. Okay, sorry. It usually doesn't take that much time. It's just hard for me to see looking through the camera. Okay, so that's it. All right, so we had our piece. We tilted it to the right. We scored the top square, scooted it all the way over, and we scored the bottom square. So that's all there is to that part. And then remember in the beginning, I said a bone folder is going to be really important. So we're going to score on, well, it's already scored. We're reinforcing on those vertical marks. Okay. And then we're just going to flip these up and flip this down. So one goes up and one goes down. And there's your mechanism. Super simple. How easy was that? Right? So then this is now a 4x4 square. So my paper is cut to 3 3/4 square. And I just have lots of different patterns here that I wanted to play with. Let's go ahead and do this one again, just because I love this paper. So I'm going to use that and maybe maybe this one on the inside. Yeah, I think those two. So if I go back to my sample, well, that was okay. That was the mistake one. That's a bonus. I'm going to show you this one too. That's a bonus piece, a bonus card. Okay, so if we go back to the cards, I just want to show you that there are actually 3 squares of designer paper. And I should have kind of gone over that, but we're doing it now. So 1 square is going to be for your front. Okay. 1 square is going to be these 2 pieces. And this is actually, I know it just looks like green paper, but this was a pattern in this pack. So 1 square is going to be cut at the diagonal and it'll be here and here. So that's that one. And then depending on what you want to do with this one, you can put another pattern in there with your square for either writing or stamping a message. So it's either 2 or 3 patterned squares, your choice, but minimum of 2, and your square for the inside and your square for the front. So here's what I do, just so I'm like clear in my own brain. I pick my piece that's going to go on the front. Okay. And I look at it and I say to myself, you are going to need to cut from this corner to this corner, right? You can see that. And then I just twist it and I put it in my trimmer, and it does happen to be the same direction, twisting to the right. So if you have a pattern like this, it's twisting to the right, just like we did with the plain cardstock. So that's going to be the front. I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. Not sure how the best way to teach you this is, but I'm going to go ahead and glue these on just so we don't get confused about what goes where. I do like the liquid glue just so we have that ability to kind of scooch it right into a good spot. And I am butting it all the way up to the diagonal line with my border on the two sides, so that when the card is closed, my pattern actually meets. Do you see how my pattern meets and it's complete as if it were never cut? But then when you open it, it separates. Okay, so now we need a square that we're going to cut for this one and this one. And I think I kind of like this. And so again, what I do, just so I don't confuse my brain, is I set it down and I say to myself, I need to go from this corner to this corner. So I'm going to grab my trimmer. Okay, I'll show you again. I lay it down. My cut needs to go this way. Okay, so it's here to here. So the inside piece rotates left. So however is easier for your brain, but I double check it by doing that. I lay it down and I say, okay, that's the way it needs to go. But I do know that for the front, you need to twist to the right. For the inside, you twist to the left. And if you just can remember that, you'll have it in the right spot. Or if you want to double check it like I just did, then that works as well. Again, butting those up. I'll check for your comments or questions in just a second. Okay, so you can see that from the front, oh, this, I scooched that a little too far. I might have to trim that off. Did you see that? You can see like just a teeny bit of the paper. I'm just going to trim that. I really don't want that hanging off the edge. I'm not sure. I must have just scooted it just a little too far. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So from the front, your pattern, if it has an up and a down, it's going the right way. And when you open it, this pattern is going the right way. So, oh, that might be nice inside. Just sort of a plain, right, with this. Instead of introducing another pattern, I think maybe we'll do that. Like as if, I don't know, me, I'll do that. So let's put that one inside. If you've followed me for very long and you've watched some other videos where I use patterned paper, you know that I'm a huge fan of mixing and matching 2 or 3 patterns, maybe even 4. And I think it's a great way to take advantage of the way that Stampin' Up! Has designed their paper packs. I mean, they've designed it for that purpose, to be mixed and matched and so that it goes together. So why not take advantage of that? And then for the smaller, the next to the smallest, or sorry, next to the largest square in Stylish Shapes, you can either just put it on the front, or if you want to trim down some designer paper or cardstock, you can do that if you want it to have a little border like that. I kind of just want, I think I just want the white on this one. And if you're going to do any stamping, I would stamp first. I didn't get a stamp out for this one. Hang on here. What would I want to put in there? Let's make this a birthday card. Let's do birthday wishes. And I think Misty Moonlight. Hang on, I'm just getting my little scratch pad here because I want to test it. Because I did re-ink this ink pad and I don't want it to be too juicy. Okay, looks good. So this will be a birthday card. This, by the way, if you need just sort of a basic set, I use this so much. Simply Said, I think, is a fantastic stamp set. So I use that a lot. And then when you go to glue this on, again, I give myself a little visual, okay? And I tell myself, I just need glue down here. So that's if you want it to be on that piece. If you want it to be attached to the top part, then you would glue it that way. There's no right or wrong. For whatever reason, I glued them all to this piece. It's, I don't know, just what my brain did. And the square is nice because you can just kind of look at the card and you can see the equal border all the way around, and you can see the points lining up on the diagonal. So it's really easy to place that square. Let's see if there were any of these pieces that would look cute. That's a little too big. Oh, the duck is adorable. The duck, maybe the pots, the duck with the pots, or the watering can. That's a cute little squirrel. The flowers are cute. I think the flowers are a little much. I kind of like the duck and the, I don't know, kind of like the pots on there too. Maybe. Oh, I like that. Those three pieces. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Sorry. Just a little thought process there. So I'm going to have the strawberries that match the background. And then let's grab just a couple little pieces of foam adhesive sheet. Pop up the pot. And then I think I'll just tuck that back here. A little ducky. So cute. Oh, look how cute. The watering can on the inside. That's what we'll do. Adorable. So that is how easy this card is to make. Can you even believe that? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do a pecan pie with the Gathering Moments paper. So if you want to see it again, I'm going to repeat it. I also have a bonus project to show you after that. So if you want to hang out for a minute, please do. But for right now, hang on one second. I'm going to check for any questions, and then we will make that second one. So let's see. Oh, again, that's sweet. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Mary. I'm glad you like the cards. No problem, Shelley. You can watch the replay. It is like magic, Bev. Oh, a square card, Shelley is asking. So like I said in the beginning, I always use my just regular medium Stampin' Up! Envelopes, because the square card, if you make it 4x4 or 4 1/4 square, fits in here. If you send a square envelope, at least at my post office, they charge me extra. So I don't send square envelopes. I just send it in the regular medium envelope. So this one fits, and you can make it up to 4 1/4 inch square and it'll still fit. So great question. Thank you for asking that. Let's see, anything else? Yeah, Joan likes the squares as well, right? I'm glad you like it. Well, thank you, everybody. I don't see questions. So we're going to make one more. I'm going to go over that cutting and scoring again, and then I have a bonus project to show you. And hopefully some of you have grabbed your 12 by 12 paper and you're crafting along. So if you just want to make one and you're saying, you know, that's really nice. You've got 3 of these ready to go. I don't need 3. That's fine too. But if you just want to make one, you're going to use a piece that's 4 by 12. And it can be the two-tone like this. This is the pecan pie two-tone. Or you can just use regular cardstock. Doesn't matter. 4 by 12. And then you are going to score at 4. I've already done that. And then pull the arm out and score at 8. And I've done that already. So we have our, I'll show you, we have our 2 score marks. So you basically end up with 3 squares. That's how you know you're doing it right. And again, you twist to the right so that your score mark is in the track and your point is in the track. You just double check. You just line that up. You double check. Then you put your scoring blade down here, not at the point. Okay, and score. And then you scoot to the bottom square. You don't do anything to the middle square. And you put that score mark in the track, the point in the track, and you score. So that you have 2 triangles, a square, and 2 triangles. Can you see? Yeah, I think you can see the score marks. And that's the bones of the project. So then if you remember, we need 3 squares for this card. I think I'm going to put that on the front. I like how that goes with the pecan pie. Kind of like, I think I'm going to use, it's kind of boring. Let me see. Oh, that's a pretty one. I think we'll do this for the inside diagonal and that for the square. So this one's not going to get cut. I'm going to set that aside. So remember our piece on the front, if it has a direction, which I kind of feel like, I mean, maybe it doesn't. Okay, I take it back. This doesn't really have an up and a down, but you twist to the right if it has a direction, and you're going to cut. So point and point in the track. I like to put my blade down somewhere in the middle so that I'm not coming up against a point. So that's for the front. And then the inside one that gets cut, if it has a direction, which I feel this is a direction, this one gets to the left. We twist to the left. Point and point in the track. Okay, so that's our inside, and then that's our inside square. So then we'll just score and assemble. And I'll show you what you can do if you accidentally cut instead of score, because it happened to me and I didn't want to throw the piece away. So I'll show you what I did to salvage it. Okay, so there's our twist. So easy to do. And then we're going to add the pretty leaves to the front. I think it was like this. I don't really know that this piece matters. I guess really it doesn't have a direction, but it sort of did in my brain. Also, when I flip this to the inside, I'm going to show you a little tip to avoid that little overhang that happened on the last card. Remember how I had to trim a little bit? I'll show you what I did to not have that happen. Okay, so there's our front pieces. So what I did to not have that little overhang problem, I actually flipped that triangle under when I went to add this piece, And then I can tell, see, I could see. Can you see that? That would be overhanging. I can see exactly where to line that up. And I should have done that on the other card because I did that when I made all those other cards this week, but I forgot to show that. So that's when I ran into trouble. So this way, see, I can see that that is perfectly lining up with the diagonal. And then you can do the same thing right here. And you will not have any little extra overhang. Have a little tiny spot of glue, so I'm just going to wipe that off. Okay, so there we have the front and the patterns on the inside. Isn't that pretty? So beautiful. And then I think that would be really stunning. Let's see. I should have not put glue there so we could check. But the dark espresso or the plaid? What do you think? I'm going to grab a stamp for the front while we decide on that. You tell me, espresso or the plaid for the front? I think I will do this with pecan pie. Let's see. Espresso, dark, dark, plaid, dark, plaid, 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 dark, espresso, plaid, dark. That's so funny. I think you guys are completely split right down the middle. But what that tells me is there's not a wrong choice, because otherwise, like 90% of you would be saying the same thing. Yeah, you're all pretty split. Just from looking quickly, I think the plaid is winning. So I think we'll do the plaid, but really, I think either of these would have looked fabulous. This one's a little more cheery. You know, the espresso is kind of moody. It's a little dark, but it's beautiful. So it would have gone. Either way would have been just lovely. And then that'll go on the front. I know what we can do. Do I have a piece with that espresso? If not, I'm just going to grab, I don't. Hang on. I'm going to grab just espresso cardstock. I think. Or maybe it's going to have to be a different color. Hang on. I thought I had one already cut. Yeah, right here. What we'll do is we will just mat that with espresso, and that'll bring in that nice dark color. And I'm pretty sure it needs to be 2 3/4. Yeah. So we'll just mat that one, and that way we get that really pretty dark border on our card anyway. And it'll look nice with those leaves on the front, right? If you're new, by the way, because I always get asked about my trimmer and the extra ruler that I have on there, it's a reverse self-adhesive ruler. It is listed in my online Amazon favorite store. So on my blog, pattystamps.com, at the top, it does say, I think it says my favorites. And that will take you to the store, and there will be a link. And I will try to remember to link it also in the description of this video. But I love this up here because otherwise when you cut, you're covering up the numbers. And that's just, it's harder for me to see that way. So I love having that extra. I think, hang on. Earthy matte dots. That's what I'm looking for. This is a new one, and it's part of online exclusives right now, but it will be available to customers on November 3rd. And I was kind of thinking these pecan dots, but then I don't know, I kind of like that and I kind of like that. Man, make a decision and just do it. I think we'll do pecan. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty. So anyway, earthy matte dots. These are fabulous for fall crafting. Sorry, I was like, what season are we in? And if you don't have these, I love these. These are the Avery passport envelopes, and they are also in my online store. This is like one of my very favorite things in my craft room. So that is how you make it. So I showed you how to make 3 at once or 1 at once. And if you accidentally cut instead of score, you can still make basically the same type of card where it's a trifold and it's got the triangles and the triangular pieces and the square on the front and the square on the inside, but I accidentally cut instead of scored when I was making it, and I didn't want to throw it away. So there you go. There's your little bonus idea for what to do if you accidentally do that. Don't throw it away. So let's look at these real quick, and then I want to show you that other project in case you are interested. Oh, this is a new stamp coming up as well. Absolutely love this. It is in the Creative Haven, which is part of the suite with that Hobby Haven, I think it's called. Remember this one that we did last week? It's part of that suite, and I love that. You're the best. Isn't that great? Oh, wait, this reminds me. I wanted to tell you one more thing that I missed telling you when I showed you last week, when I showed you the new packaging, and I was telling you about the new size of magnet cards and all my tips about this. I want to show you something that I neglected to say. And this is really important as you are deciding how you want to store the new Stampin' Up! Stamp sets and dies. So if you missed it, I'll link it. I'm not going to repeat the whole thing, but the new packaging is a flat envelope, and it is roughly, what is it? Roughly like 6 by 9. Yeah, I mean, give or take an eighth of an inch. It's like 6 by 9. And the dies have the picture on the front, but I like mine on a magnet card. Stampin' Storage is where I get them, and this is the size that they have now. So those are for sale. I linked those a couple days ago. The stamp set comes in the same packaging. The images are there. The stamp set is just how we are used to it in the DVD case. But look, this is what I want to show you. The back of the Stampin' Storage magnet cards, you can see it in here. It's shiny. You can see that reflection, right? If you pull off the flimsy part of the stamp set packaging, so now this is the thick one, these will hold right there. See, they don't come off. It will hold. If you want to store your dies and your stamps together, you can do that. And then you pick this up and it just comes off. You use your stamp, you put it back on here, and then you can store it all in the same packaging if you want to. It's just an option, but I neglected to show that last week. So I just wanted to show you that. So as you are thinking through this new packaging, that might make a difference to you. I mean, it did to me, because now I'm really considering storing them together. I'm not positive yet, but it's definitely an option. So I just wanted to show you that and let you have the opportunity to decide what you might want to do moving forward as you start getting the new packages. Okay, sorry, I know that was a little bit of a detour, but I just wanted to make sure that you had that as an option, or you had that knowledge. I know Stampin' Storage showed it on their video, and that's what reminded me, oh my goodness, I didn't tell you all that. So, yes, okay. I am glad you like the cards. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I'm glad you like the save on the accidental cut, Terry. Yep. Yeah, Debbie, isn't that amazing? Yep, I love that option, Gail. Love it. Yep, love that. Oh, Debbie, I will put a link in this post to that, or you can go to my blog. Was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago on my blog. If you scroll back to 2 days ago on the 15th, you can see that whole, it was like an hour and a half video about all the new packaging. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't last week. If I said that, I'm sorry. It was just like, oh, I did do the video last week. I reposted it on my blog 2 days ago. Okay, I do want to show you that extra project that I've been working on. So if you want to see it, hang tight with me for a minute. If you want to jump off, you are welcome to jump off. But I hope you enjoyed how easy these triangle twist square cards are. My friends, they are just, I hope you agree. Put something in the comments. Tell me, did you think those were easy or not? I just want to know. I'm really curious before we move on. I want to know, did you think that was way easier than you thought it was going to be? Because it was for me. Yep. Okay. Yep. Super easy. I'm telling you, wasn't that amazing? So amazing. All right. I want to show you something that I've been working on. It has nothing to do with the twist cards, but I just want to show you this because I don't think I'm going to do a video on this, but I wanted to show you these. I was using the Light and Wonder bundle and the Lights of Aurora paper, which is like the Northern Lights. I know a lot of people have that on their bucket list to see the Northern Lights in person. So I was making cards for the people in my demonstrators in my downline on my Love to Stamp group team who earned the Alaska cruise. And I decided just to make all different. I was going to make everything the same, and I just decided to make a bunch of different cards. So I just wanted to show you real quickly, just by layering all the different dies in that bundle and that paper, I just wanted to go through these and show you what I was doing with them. I used some glimmer paper. Oh my gosh, the glimmer paper makes it look amazing. Makes it look like they're just all snowy. Aren't those pretty? And there's no right or wrong way to layer those mountain dies. I mean, I just think they are so much fun. Aren't those cool? And then this die, you can see it kind of makes like a lake. And so two of these cards are for two different friends who have a cabin up at Lake Tahoe. And I thought that they would like a card that kind of looked like the lake. So I'm going to send them these two, but then these two were for the Alaska trip achievers. So if they're watching, sneak peek, you're going to see what you're getting. But I just think these are so beautiful and so fun. And I'm so glad that instead of a dozen of the same, I made all different cards and I just played with the paper and I played with the layers and the lake and the snow and the trees and the sky. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like these? I think these are amazing. I think these are so cool. Oh, you like them. Thank you, everybody. Makes you cold to look at them. That's cute. Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I love the sparkles too. Thanks, Judy. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you like those. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see hearts. Thank you, everybody. That's so sweet of you. I am glad you like them. It's a wow. Thanks, Dawn. Thank you, Kelly and Liz. Thanks, Jackie. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I don't know how much longer this will be around. This has been out a little while. So it's, always subject to last chance list. But I just was dying to use this. It's been sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to use these. And I don't even think I am going to stamp on the front. I put a piece of the paper from this pack on the inside of every one of these. And I think I'm just going to add a white layer on that and stamp and write on the inside. I really don't think that the front needs a greeting. I don't know. It doesn't, wouldn't hurt it, but I just don't think it needs it. I'm just going to leave them. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. Oh, you would like to see a video, Terry? I could do that. I could do it next week. Let me know. Does anybody else want to see a video on this or not? Yeah, I agree, Gail. I'm not going to stamp on the front. Yeah, I'm just going to leave the front. I think they're too pretty. I did take my Wink of Stella and I flicked Wink of Stella. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see. So they're all sparkly. The snow is sparkly, the water's sparkly, the sky is sparkly. I did sparkle them up a bit. Oh, you would like to see a video? Oh, okay. All right, all right. Well, maybe I will do that next week then. I was going to do my fall sampler next week, but we could wait and do that on Halloween, and we could do these next week. That's less figuring out for me. Then I already know what I'm doing. Okay, all right. Yes, thank you, everybody. Oh, Susan, maybe you missed that. I said I'm going to put white inside. So I am going to use the die cut inside on top of that. I just wanted to put a little bit of interest on the inside. Yeah, I'm not leaving them like that on the inside. I did say that I'm putting a white panel inside. Sorry if you missed that. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. I will do a video next week on these then. So now you have a sneak peek of what we're doing. Hope that's okay. Hope you don't mind. Oh, thank you, Terry. I'm glad you like the tips. Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. So sweet. Well, I will let you go. We have been crafting for an hour again, and I appreciate you being here so much. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next week for the Light and Wonder Lights of Aurora card video, and then we will postpone the fall sampler to the 31st. That works. That works for me. Thank you again, everyone. I will see you next week. Bye.